Howdy do you, this is John, and today we are talking about my top 10 least favorite movies of the year. These are movies that, while they may not be technically the worst made movies of the year, these are the movies that I enjoyed watching the least. So, without further ado, this is my least favorite movie of the year list. Now, I didn't see every movie this year, I should point out. I skipped Snow White completely. But of the ones I've seen, this is the list. Number 10 is Frontier Crucible. Frontier Crucible is a Western that came out fairly recently, and it is bad. The movie's too long, the story's not interesting, the characters are not good, and also for a supposedly gritty Western movie, everything looks squeaky clean and shiny. I don't think I'll ever watch this movie again, and of course I don't recommend it. Number 9 is Highest to Lowest. Oh yeah, if you think critical acclaim for your movie is going to save your movie from being annihilated from me and everyone else in the world, the answer is no. Highest to Lowest is another misguided attempt by Spike Lee to remake an Asian film. Spike Lee does all of his annoying Spike Lee-isms in the film, and he essentially just ruins a classic. Basically, long story short, and I'm going to repeat a joke I made on my review of this film, there's a reason why Spike Lee calls his movies joints, because you need one in order to sit through his movies. Number 8 is Americana. Americana is a failed neo-Western made by a group of people in Hollywood who, for some reason, think they understand rural Americana, but really they don't, and this movie's proof of it. Nobody in rural Americana acts like any of the characters in this movie. They don't think like any of the characters in this movie. And on top of that, the one redeeming quality the movie could have, which would have been being good, it fails on that point as well. You're not invested in anything, and at the end of the day, Americana is just Hollywood being Hollywood and not understanding what they're talking about. Number 7 is a movie I was really hoping would be good and turned out not. It's Tron Ares. Tron 3 should have just been a continuation of what happened in Tron Legacy, but instead they went a very different route with very different characters. And on top of the characters not being the same as the ones in the previous movies, they're written poorly. You're given zero reason to really care about anything that's going on. And at the end of the day, really Tron Ares is just a pretty light show and nothing else. No substance within the pretty light show at all. Number 6 is the most recent movie I've seen on the list, Anaconda. Anaconda is a misguided attempt to reboot Anaconda as a horror comedy mix, but as I stated in my review of the movie, there's no horror, there's no good comedy. Painfully unfunny film with Paul Rudd and Jack Black just playing their usual shtick, just doing their usual shtick, nothing else. The only entertaining thing about the entire movie is a glorified cameo by Ice Cube, and that is it. Anything else, expect something that makes the original Anaconda look competent. Number 5 is a movie that I was hoping to not put on this list because, I love DC, I love Superman, but the newest Superman was just not Superman. Number 5 is Superman, as you can tell, and James Gunn should not have written or directed this movie. Superman never felt like Superman. He felt like a whiny teenage spoiled brat, not, this human being who's technically an alien with godlike powers, but human-like, personality, attributes, values. I don't mind Superman being a little bit emotional, but while Man of Steel figured out how to do that without him, not feeling like Superman, this movie just butchered everything about what made him Superman just so he could be a whiny, spoiled brat. Number 4 is Echo Valley. I really feel bad for Sydney Sweeney because she's a really good actress, but she was in a lot of bad movies this year. So Echo Valley, it's another one of those Hollywood misguided movies. Literally every act that occurs in this movie is because of the character's own stupidity. It's not something that was unavoidable. It was just simply acts of stupidity. If Julianne Moore's character owned a firearm, let's just say 99% of the issues she runs into in this movie would have been solved. But no, instead, because it's stupid Hollywood, she doesn't own a firearm. But the bad guys do. Echo Valley is just stupidity, not intelligent thinking. Number 3 is The Ritual. The Ritual is about this exorcism that occurred in the 1920s that everyone has forgotten about, and they tried to claim that was the exorcism that inspired The Exorcist, forgetting that the actual exorcism that inspired The Exorcist was the exorcism of Roland Doe. Long story short, it's everything you would expect in an exorcism-based horror movie. Every cliche is there. Every stereotype is there. The 2 lead characters, they could have done something interesting with them, but they don't. Basically, if you've seen every exorcism horror movie, you have seen this one. It's no different at all. Number 2 is Star Trek Section 31. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. Star Trek used to be one of the biggest franchises in the world. Now, they're just crappy straight to Paramount Plus stuff that nobody watches anymore. Star Trek Section 31 hardly felt like Star Trek at all. It felt more like a generic sci-fi movie. And a lot of the same problems that have been plaguing Star Trek lately are on full force in this film. From poor characters, poor storytelling, poor combat. Instead, there's this main focus on politics instead. Star Trek Section 31 is just simply, the embodiment of everything plaguing Star Trek and modern sci-fi right now. And my number 1 least favorite movie of 2025 is The Strangers Chapter 2. What makes this even more annoying is the fact that it's partially a continuation of a cult classic that came out when I was a kid, or at least the reboot series of it. There's a lot of things you could do with a home invasion, strangers-like horror movie. And instead, they just use every slasher movie cliche you can imagine. Everything that you can think of in a stereotypical cliche slasher movie. It's in this movie in full force. It started off as something a little bit unique when I was a kid. It's now just stereotypical cliche nonsense that we have seen a million times. And at the end of the day, Strangers Chapter 2 just did nothing but annoy me. Well, that's my least favorite movies of this year. Obviously, like I said, I did not see every movie this year. Everyone seems to agree that Snow White is the worst movie of the year, but I ditched that movie. I skipped it completely because I did not need to review it for anyone to know that was going to be bad. And on top of that, I'm just sick and tired of Disney's live action remakes because they always turn out bad. But anyway, these are my least favorite movies of this year. What's your guys' least favorite movie of the year? Go ahead and comment that if you want. And please don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it. Please also subscribe if you're new to the channel. Please don't forget, I also have a secondary gaming channel. Please go check it out. And as per usual, please remember, the Podetsky will return.